So today we're talking about how much money I made off of YouTube in 2023 as a creator in the personal finance niche. 2023 was the first full year where I was a part of the YouTube Partner Program, and at the end of the year, I had just under 8,000 subscribers. I'll be diving into my analytics and talking about my RPM rates, my CPM rates, as well as my other income sources outside of just YouTube AdSense. I've always enjoyed watching these types of videos where creators would break down how much they've earned from their YouTube channels. And I saw some crazy numbers, which was obviously super motivating. I loved seeing what was possible on this platform, as well as what I might be able to expect if I continued down this road. So hopefully this video can be the same for you if you're also a small creator, and keep inspiring you to keep pushing through. And honestly, I know everyone is super nosy, including myself, and just wants the tea in regards to how much creators can actually make on YouTube. So let's wind back to the beginning where I published my first video back in the middle of COVID in May of 2021. So it's actually nearly been 3 years that I've been on YouTube personally. Now, in order to become monetized and join the YouTube Partner Program, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours over a rolling 12-month period. Since the introduction of YouTube Shorts, you could also become monetized if you had at least 10 million public short views over the span of 3 months. I was finally able to meet those requirements on June the 25th of 2022 after uploading 58 long-form videos. So it took me roughly 13 months to get monetized, which based on what I've seen is about the average amount of time it takes to get monetized on YouTube. So during those 13 months, I was actually not earning anything from YouTube. So it was definitely depressing at times given the amount of hours I was putting into YouTube with very little results to show for. And there were definitely plenty of times when I thought about quitting. Now, after finally getting monetized, I was roughly making around $3 to $5 per day, and over the remainder of the year, this amount slowly increased ever so slowly. By the end of the year, I was making around $7 to $9 a day, with the highest amount I made in a single day being around $17. So in those first 6 months of being monetized in 2022, I made a grand total of just around $1,200 for around 100,000 total views. Now, if you do some quick math, I was making around $12 per 1,000 views, which leads me on to the next topic, which is about CPM and RPM rates. Now, CPM is the cost per 1,000 impressions and is essentially a metric that shows how much money advertisers are willing to spend to show ads on your YouTube videos. And my channel's lifetime average CPM rate is just over $40. Now, if you're a creator on YouTube, the CPM doesn't nearly matter as much as your RPM rate, which is essentially how much you actually make as a creator per 1,000 views. This will vary depending on the specific niche that you're in, but also your audience demographic as well. Now, my content is generally focused within the personal finance space, which is known to have higher RPMs, and my audience is predominantly made up of Australians, where generally speaking, we have more disposable income compared to other parts of the world. So once again, advertisers are going to be willing to spend higher amounts to show ads on my videos. So my average RPM rate for 2023 was $14.80, which means that for every 1,000 views on my channel, I was getting paid on average around $14.80. So moving into my analytics for 2023, we can see at the start that we were still making around $7 to $9 a day. Now, one of the goals that I had set out for myself in 2023 was to make at least 3 long-form videos per month, and I'm pretty sure I kept to that. So I wasn't actually publishing every single week because I was still working full time, and I still currently am, and I was definitely starting to feel a little bit burnt out last year. So I thought I'd give myself at least 1 week off a month so I wasn't constantly working on publishing my next video. So both my views and revenues started to pick up at around April of 2023, where I started to earn more than $10 per day, and eventually this grew to around $20 per day. And that trajectory pretty much continued for the next few months, moving into July and August. Now, seasonality also plays a huge factor into YouTube, as July tends to be when, end of financial year sales are on, so advertisers are really ramping up their marketing spend, which means there's more competition from advertisers, which ultimately boosts up your overall RPM rate. As an example, in July, my RPM rate for that month alone was just under $20. July also ended up being my highest revenue month, where I just earned shy of $1,000. So things were going pretty good. My views were slowly climbing, my revenue was slowly climbing, until around late August, where I was hit with an invalid traffic notice. Now, this has been an issue that has affected a lot of YouTubers over the past year and still affects some to this very day. Essentially, YouTube has been implementing these new AI tools to try and detect channels who artificially boost their views or engagement through bots or paid services. And a lot of creators, including myself, got inadvertently affected by this, even though we weren't actually engaging in these services. The result was that my revenue pretty much plummeted overnight, and it fell back to around about that $7 to $9 range. And my total revenue for August and September also plummeted as a result. Now, there really wasn't a lot that you could do to solve this issue. I tried a few different things to fix it, such as not allowing my videos to be embedded based on what other creators were saying worked for them. And I wasn't sure what specifically held my channel, but over time, my channel pretty much recovered over the next 2 to 3 months. And by about October, my revenue numbers had pretty much recovered. So with all that being said, my total revenue from AdSense in 2023 was $6,257.56. Now, in terms of my top performing videos in 2023, the top 2 videos were both to do about credit cards, which combined earned me around $1,100, whilst the third video was around the topic of investing, generating me just under $500, with the fourth video also being about credit cards, generating me about $360. And my last video was around the topic of superannuation, which also generated me just around $360 as well. Now, AdSense revenue from YouTube has notoriously been very volatile for a lot of creators, and I've experienced that firsthand myself with the whole invalid data traffic issue. But one of the great things about YouTube is that it opens the doors for creators to earn so many other revenue streams. Some of the more common ones outside of just YouTube AdSense include things like brand sponsorships, affiliate marketing, digital downloads, merchandising, and paid memberships. For me personally, I've been able to earn additional revenue through brand sponsorships and also affiliate marketing as well. I was lucky enough to receive my first brand sponsorship when I had around 2,000 subscribers, and in total last year, I made $2,340 from brand sponsorships. Now, all of the sponsorships that I received last year were inbound, meaning those companies actually reached out to me. And this is definitely a revenue stream that I want to focus and continue building this year. And so it's also one that I'm going to be more proactive about reaching out to brands directly who I want to work with. Next, from an affiliate marketing perspective, I was pretty blown away when I summed up all the numbers. So essentially how affiliate marketing works, if you don't know already, is that whenever you guys click on one of the links in my video and then sign up, I essentially make a commission out of that. So out of all of the revenue streams that we've talked about so far, this is probably the most passive out of all of them, because literally all I have to do is just share a link. Now, sometimes I will need to create a video talking about that particular product or service. However, for the most part, it's pretty much passive. And in total, last year, I earned $4,756 from affiliate marketing, which is pretty insane. So my total revenue, combining all of my income sources for YouTube, comes to a total of $13,354. Now note that this is just my revenue. I obviously still have to pay taxes on this amount. So that's how much I made in 2023. If you're a fellow creator or someone who is thinking about starting YouTube, hopefully this has provided you with some insights into my own journey and what you might expect to make if you do decide to go down this path. To my audience, this is really all thanks to you guys. So I really just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who have liked the video, subscribed to my channel, or left a comment on one of my videos. Without you guys, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. There's definitely been a lot of ups and downs over the past 3 years, and I definitely think there have been more downs, but I think hopefully there's gonna be more ups moving forward. Thank you guys once again for all the support that you guys have given me, and I'm looking forward to making the same video next year.